Welcome back to Self-Care for Healers online Masterclass series. I have the privilege of introducing Sherryl Comeau. Sherryl is the author of A Change in Perception, a spiritual teacher and energy practitioner, as well as the owner of Energy Work Studio in Haverhill, Massachusetts. She has been offering her services in and around New England since 1998. She believes that everyone has intuitive abilities on some level to tap into, if given the tools and direction. She has given many live webinars to help educate healers, and she has volunteered at area hospitals like Elliott Hospital in Manchester, New Hampshire, and Holy Family Hospital in Haverhill, Massachusetts. In the past, Sherryl has also offered her services at expos throughout New England, and she has produced a meditation CD with crystal singing bowls. And she continues to produce a monthly educational community TV segment with HC Media, ongoing since 2015, called Sherry's Metaphysical Corner. She also has her own radio program through Dimension 7 Radio Network with Deborah Beauvais. She offers the following healing services: the Emotion Code, Body Code, the Melchizedek Method, and Reiki. So again, it's my privilege to introduce Sherryl Comeau. Sherryl, thank you so much for being a part of this Masterclass series. And I'd like to start off with asking you about why you became an energy practitioner.
Well, hello, and thank you for the invitation, Peter. It's a privilege to be here. As much as you're suggesting to me, it's just as much a privilege for me to be here, to be a part of what you're doing to help people and enlighten people. It's a privilege to be able to do this. This is going to sound like hokey pokey, but I think that you'll find it interesting and fun. And that's what I'm about. I like to keep things fun and interesting, because life is supposed to be a vacation and fun, not so much drama. When I was just a young girl, I was probably 10 or 11 years old. I was a Trekkie. I loved Star Trek. I was just a little kid, and there was one episode that triggered me, and that was what set me off. It was called Empath. You guys can check back into the 60s, the late 60s. And it was an amazing episode. Kirk and Spock, of course, were there to save the damsel in distress. Some aliens had abducted a woman, and she could heal. She could do all kinds of healings. And for drama, for Hollywood, they were monitoring how she was doing this. These aliens didn't understand how she could do this. And she would put her hands on somebody, heal them, and her body would contort, and she'd have all these ugly things all over her face. And then drawing it out of the person into herself, the person would clear, she would be gross, and then it would start to leave her body, and then she'd pass out on the floor for drama. And then his Spock and Kirk to save the day. So that set me over the top. I was only like 10 or 11. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do that. I know I can do that. This is wild. So from there, it just took off. I mean, Reiki came into my life in my 20s. From there, I did all kinds of reading after I saw that one episode. I read Shirley MacLaine. I read all kinds of, you name it, the who's who, like Ruth Montgomery. Was out of the Washington Post. She was an amazing journalist. She was introduced to Arthur Ford, a psychic. She was not into any of this stuff at all. They forced her to do an interview with him, fell madly in love with holistic alternatives, did all kinds of books after that with him, and just kept going. So I've read books like that and more. I've just read. From there, I got into Reiki. From there, I got into the Melchizedek Method. From there, I got into tuning forks. And from there, sound kind of stayed with me for a little while, and I did some crystal bowl work. I was all over New England, from Vermont down out of the Cape. And then magic. I got into the Emotion Code, Body Code. Woo! It's amazing. Certified in the Emotion Code and the Body Code.
Well, can you tell us more about that and how the Emotion Code, Body Code can help you overcome fear, improve your self-care, or regain control in your life?
Yes, sure, absolutely. I know that's kind of the theme that we're working with here. And, you know, the emotion code, body code, and it's two certifications to get this. You can do just the emotion code. The body code I did do as well and became certified, but it's grueling. It's very intensive. You feel like a doctor when you're done. There's so much involved in it, but I'm glad I stuck it out. But and addressing these issues of, you know, releasing fear, increasing self-love, bring back control of self. The emotion code, body code addresses all of these issues and more by working with the system, going to the root cause of why these may be off in your system, in releasing the trapped emotion energy. And I say this loosely, trapped emotion, because that's what we're dealing with. It has a frequency of its own signature frequency, because everything is energy. So even emotions have a frequency. So in releasing trapped emotion energy, it brings balance back to the organs, the glands, the tissues, the muscles, the nervous system, and so much more. And it allows the release of fear, the increasing self-love, and brings back control of self, raising self-esteem. And you feel a shift in your body on the spot when we start working on you. That's how intense this is.
Cool. So when you say the root cause, would you say fear, lack of self-love, lack of control? Would you say that's stored in the subconscious, or how does that work?
That is stored in yours, believe it or not, in your system. And it's good that you brought up the subconscious. Those are emotions that are stored in your body that are very low, very dense frequencies, okay? And I can give you just a quick synopsis. This is the emotion code, and this is the chart we use. And on it, you're going to see this column A, this column B, and then there's all of these organs and glands to one side. There's 60 trapped emotions. They're very low frequency, very dense. And the organs and glands in our bodies are the frequency generators of these 60 emotions that get stuck in our body. They actually generate the frequency vibrations. So each one has a specific frequency, and they're produced by a specific organ. So just to give you an example, liver and gallbladder. There's 10 now. There's 5 trapped emotions, or 5 emotions in each cell block, okay, across the board, column A, column B. So across the board from each of these organs and glands, there's 10, but they're in different columns. So the liver and gallbladder produce, this is the frequency they produce: anger, bitterness, guilt, hatred, resentment, depression, frustration, indecisiveness, panic, taken for granted, okay? Specifically, liver and gallbladder. Now, they can be trapped in your body anywhere. Again, those are just the organs and glands that are setting up the frequency. They're just the generators of those emotions that get trapped in your body. And the way they get stuck, through a trauma. If you experience a trauma in your life of any kind, a divorce, let's say your parents got divorced when you were a little child. You know, children are not equipped for that kind of emotion when we're little. Immediately, your subconscious steps in to create a heart wall. That's another story altogether I can get to you. But the subconscious is the player in this. It's the director. So when we are dealing as a practitioner with the subconscious to get this information, to connect with the information about a person, this is the mind. This is your conscious mind. That's your subconscious. I know many people have used this analogy of the iceberg. It's great. It's huge. Yeah. The subconscious, there is no ego involved. It's connected to universal intelligence, divine source, God, whatever you want to relate that to. That's where the information comes to for us to connect with. It knows everything about, and the reason it can direct us to either the emotion code chart or the body code chart, which goes much deeper into your system, is because it is the chart. It knows everything about a human being from the day you take your first breath to the day you leave and cross over. It knows everything, every thought you ever had, and every feeling, any emotion you ever had, any injury you ever had, any accident, any prescription drugs you've ever been on, any recreational drugs you tried, whatever you've done, felt, thought, It's all stored. It's like a computer bank in the human being. That's what the subconscious is. So we're just simply connecting. And by doing that, we have to ask permission to do this. So if we get a no, we cannot work on that person. There's a reason that person is having a no from the subconscious. And one more thing I'm going to give you about the subconscious is biggest role is to protect the heart. So in the heart center, the heart area has a field of energy all its own. It's 12 feet wide. The aura around the human body is only 6 feet wide. So it's double the size. So the heart aura around you, every human being, is 12 feet that can be measured. I mean, it's infinite. It's much wider than that, but we can measure it to 12 feet. In that, a heart wall is created if somebody has gone through something very, very traumatic. That's another story we can get into another time. And we release a heart wall. This is the only work that does that.
Well, you had mentioned that these emotions are trapped in the body. So would you say the average client that comes in to see you to work this stuff out, one, they can't do it themselves because if it's trapped, is there a possibility that maybe they're hanging on to it for some reason? Maybe they're looking to learn a lesson, or at the very least, they're hanging on to that emotion for some reason, right?
To be honest with you, people don't realize that they're holding on to it. Once it's trapped in there, the reason it's trapped is because it was something we could not process. You know, let's just say you went through a horrible divorce as an adult. I mean, that's a big thing for somebody to have to experience that. And there's so many people that go through that, and there's hate and there's anger and there's viciousness, and the kids take a beating going through all that stuff. And, you know, there's a lot of sadness that goes with that as well. Again, it's because you can't process how yucky you feel. You can't process, why did she do that to me? Or why did he do that to me? Or why did she cheat on me? Why did he cheat on me? What's happening? What's going on? You know, it's like getting hit with a brick. You can't process some emotions that we go through that are traumatic. A car accident, another one. Somebody dies in the car with you, very traumatic. How come he died? Or how come she died? Oh my God. They had such life to live, and on it goes. It's difficult to process, so the emotion of that trauma gets stuck. That is what we look for. That's the root cause that we look for. Why is your body doing what it's doing? Because there's a root cause in your system triggering it. So we go in and look for it.
So when you say it gets stuck in the system or trapped, the clients are kind of burying it because they can't process it.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
So in a nutshell, that's pretty much what this work does, whether it's emotions that we're releasing or if we're using the body code. And this is an app on my phone, and I also have it in my computer. And again, it's 2 columns, but it's not labeled A and B. It's just 2 columns. It's energy that we can track in your body, or circuits and system toxins, pathogens, misalignment somewhere in your body, anywhere in your body, or it's also nutrition and lifestyle. So there's lots of work that's done with the emotion code body code. Once we click on one of these, it's going to open up another window with more of these little colored buttons with more information on whichever one we clicked that your subconscious directed us to. It's in complete control with the subconscious. Once we have permission and granted to us to connect to the subconscious of the client or the animal, an animal is a client, we have to have permission to tap into their subconscious as well. Once we get that, our ego as a practitioner steps out. We're done with that. We now become one being, and the information just flows.
So, and how do you determine it's an issue with column A or column B? Is that, do you use manual muscle testing?
Yeah, we do. We use muscle testing. So that's why this work is very, very much applied kinesiology plus. So it's muscle testing, but it's also using magnets and intention with both. And we're using the governing meridian to release it. So when I tell you that we're using intention as well with magnets. Let's just say we went to some place in your body, and I can do a demonstration if you like, just to show people how it works on yourself if you like.
Sounds great.
All right, if you have some pain or emotional something around going, headaches or left hip is hurting you, whatever, that's physical pain. If you have insomnia, this is emotional stuff. Insomnia, you're not sleeping well, panic attacks, anxiety attacks, or just plain anxiety, things like that, I can work on. And I can tap into your subconscious by asking permission to do that. And then it's going to direct me to go either to use the emotion code chart or body code chart. It's the director. It's going to tell us where to go. And then we're going to find, well, why does he have this pain in his hip? That's the question I'm going to ask if that was what you were giving me. Why does he have this pain in his left hip? What's going on? What's the underlying cause? We're going to use muscle testing. So muscle testing is normally the arm, as a kinesiologist will use. And it's just the body is talking to us, telling us. They'll get a yes, the arm will stay solid. They get a no, the arm will get weak and drop. Okay, so there's your answers. What we use is hand positions, because oftentimes if I'm not doing a lecture somewhere, if I'm on a podium and I'm doing a lecture out somewhere, I'll use the arm. And then I will use the magnet, the full length of the back, and I'll show you why in a minute. Otherwise, when it's like this, a private session, I use the ring locks. So if I get a yes, it's solid. It won't break through the ring. If I get a no, it's just like the arm dropping. It can't hold it. It just gets weak. So there's how we communicate with the individual's body. That's communication.
And you can do this on Zoom at a distance. The person doesn't have to be with you, or do they have to be with you?
No, they do not have to be with me. And number one, and number two, I have clients around the globe, not just in the United States. But better than that, this is quantum physics. You're just moving energy from one place to another. Many of my clients, after they get used to my energy and they've seen all of the visual aids that I like to show and help people understand how this works, many don't use a phone anymore, don't use Zoom. They set up an appointment. They tell me what's going on. I work on them because I'm connecting to their subconscious and have permission to do this work. I do a transcript as I normally do. I do the work. When I'm done, I send them a transcript. And then they have all of the information that they need, and they're not on devices. So you don't need a device as well.
Well, that's amazing. So do you think we could do a demonstration?
Absolutely. Okay. What is going on with you? So give me an idea. Think about, you have any physical pain going on or?
No, so I'm a healthcare worker on the front lines. I have to wear a mask all the time. And I'm wondering, because I have skin irritation, and I'm wondering if the skin irritation is a reaction to the mask itself, which I wear several hours a day, just about every day. Or is it something I'm eating, or is it
something else?
Yeah.
All right, so let's ask Peter. I am going to ask for permission to connect to your subconscious. So in doing that, this is what I normally do. I work with, I'm clairaudient, and I work with a spirit team, a spirit council. Just like everybody, we all have a soul group. And just to give you an idea how large that soul group is, and I thought I had something here to show you, but I think I put it away. Yeah, right here. Everybody has a soul group. Now, this is just going to be a simulation of that, but you can see there's lots of angels and light beings, and look how thick and dense. I mean, you can't even count how far back it goes. It's just thousands upon thousands, and they're watching over the earth. Same thing is around each human being, this grouping. Some come in, some leave. You know, they have to learn and do things on the other side as well. But there's always this many around every human being, and it's called a soul group, okay? So when they come through to speak with me, they'll contact me by saying, divine child of God, dear heart, we are here. We would like to speak with you. That's how they communicate with me, because I can hear them. That's clairaudient. So what I'm going to do is simply tune into them, my divine counsel, and they call themselves divine source counsel. So I'm going to tune into them and get quiet for just a moment. And I'm asking them to come through and bring divine love and light on divine love and light frequencies through my heart center to my subconscious higher self as we work together using the emotion code body code with your discernment and knowledge. I'm asking permission at this time to connect to Peter's subconscious. And I'm going to use muscle testing like I just showed you with the ring locks, asking permission now to connect with Peter's subconscious. And I'm getting a solid lock. That's a yes. So I have baseline. I'm Sherryl. I'm Sherryl. I'm Sherryl. See the no? I'm getting a no that I'm not Sherryl anymore. I'm Peter. So we're one being, you. So I'm asking right now, what is going on with Peter? What is the root cause for the redness on the sides of his face? Is it from the mask that he wears so many hours during the course of the day? I'm getting a no. Okay, so let's ask again. Not mask. Is it something that he is eating? What is the root cause triggering that? Is it something maybe he's possibly eating? No, it's not food. Okay. So is it something maybe that he is ingesting with drink, some kind of a drink beverage? No. So it's not that. Drink, beverage. Let's just see if there's something else now. There was something else I had in mind. Food. Is it just stress? Is it anxiety or stress induced that's bringing that about? Hello, we're getting a yes. And it could be simply there's some kind of a stress that's bringing that on. And it could be simply, is it the stress of having to wear the mask all day long while he is working? No, it's not that. So it's not the mask altogether. It's not the mask creating stress for you, but there is something in your system that's creating stress.
Yeah, because I thought it was food. I thought it was the mask.
Yeah.
I thought it was multifactorial. As soon as you said, is it stress? I get a little tension in the solar plexus.
Yeah. So that's it. That's your confirmation. That's your subconscious, because we're one being right now. Mm-hmm. Now that I'm connected to your subconscious. So it's communicating to you. And what I tell my clients is this: symptoms are there for a reason. It's important. And I'm going to bring it down to the simplest thing. If you get a headache, you have a toe ache, if you have a stomach ache, you have diarrhea, if you have hip issues, if your shoulder hurts, your neck hurts, don't run over to CVS and pick up some Advil and take a pill and pop it in there. It's just a symptom. The body is trying to communicate with us and tell us, I'm hurting, help me. We can, by finding the root cause of what's triggering that. And that's what I would do with you. I would go in and find what is triggering the stress that he's feeling that's bringing out the rash in his face. You want me to try something right now on you?
Yes, please.
Let's do it. All right. So just to give you a little synopsis, with this work, as I told you in the beginning, we use magnets, but we also can use fingertips. The fingertips are magnetized and polarized. So I very rarely use magnets anymore. But again, you can use a magnet for $1 off of a refrigerator. You can buy it at a dollar store. You can use that, or you can use your fingertips. I have used my fingertips now for a very long time. So what I'm going to do is, hang on one quick second. My little puppy wants to come in here. All right, hurry up. Come in here. Hurry up. Okay. What I'm going to do is distract me for a minute. Using the magnets, I'm going to use that. Now, the body is the tool. The human body, people don't understand that. That's like a tuning fork. The human body is the tool. That's why when I work on a client, I don't need a device. I don't need a phone. I don't need Zoom. The body is the tool. You don't have to be in my presence. There are many people that like to do the Zoom, and that's fine, or no Zoom at all, and they want to do the phone. They want to be able to hear me. They want to be able to ask questions, and that's okay too. So I'm going to tune into your system right now, and I'm going to ask, what is the underlying cause that's going on in Peter's system that's triggering the facial redness, rash that's going on in his body? Is it something that we can do using the body code? Yes. Okay, so let me just do that. Let me pull it up. And this will be a perfect example for everybody to see, because I have an app on the phone that I use, or I have it on the computer. But since we're live, I'll use the app, and you can see how this works. What you're gonna see is this, and then you'll see the many different phases of that. So while that's coming up, what we use, once your subconscious directs us to where we're going to find where this stress is, we use the governing meridian. Now, it's Chinese medicine. It's the only meridian we use. It's the full length of the body. It starts actually right here, goes up over the crown and down the back, right? So it's the full length of the back, top of the crown, down to the bottom. So if I'm doing a lecture somewhere, and this is when I would use the magnet, just so that people could see and understand it, I would swipe it 4 times down the back, roll it. When we're doing this, I just use my fingertips, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what this work is all about. 3 or 4 rolls in the governing meridian. That's where the intention comes in. Okay, so it's using magnets and intention along with the applied kinesiology. So this is what we're using, the governing meridian, and it is traveling through all of these organs. And you can see all of the little tiny skinny lines. This is connected to all of this. So you could have pain here, but the block is over here on the other side of your body, simply because it's on the same circuit. So what I tell my clients is this: think of your human body as your house. You can be watching TV in your bedroom. You can blow out a circuit in the kitchen. Same thing with the human body. Same thing. Think of it as your house. You can blow out a fuse over here, but you're going to feel the pain here, but it's blocked here, or vice versa. So this is where we're going, just so that you understand this. Okay. Let's turn this on. There we go. And all right. So it's going to look exactly the same until I flip the page. So here it is. Okay. It's a little bit of a glare, but you get the idea. You can see that, okay? Now, once we start tapping, wherever your subconscious sends us to find what's going on with your system, we're going to keep getting newer, and newer. And then at the end, because of a glare, I have to turn it. Can you see the writing here?
Yes.
You can tell that there is some kind of writing.
Yep.
There's a lot of information given about what's going on in the person's body. Mm-hmm. If I turn it this way, you won't be able to see it.
Right.
So I kind of turn it sideways just so that you guys can see that there is writing there. So let's see, where are we going using the body code chart to find what's going on with Peter? What's stressing him that's causing this rash on his face? Using the body code chart. Is it the left side of the chart, right side? Is it a pathogen? Is it a misalignment? We're already there. We found that there's a misalignment somewhere in your body. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Misalignment is right here. Boom. Now we've got another whole set of charts. So I'm going to ask, in the misalignment chart, using muscle testing, is it the left side of the chart? No. Is it the right side? Yes. Is it system? Is it skeleton? Is it meridian? There's something blocked in one of your meridians. See, we're getting a yes. So that's where it sent us. Again, there's 2 columns, like I said in the beginning of the show, left and right. It's sending us to meridian. So that's what we're going to tap. Now we get another set of charts. So in the meridian, where are we going? Let me just flip this up again. Okay. This alignment, meridian. So in the meridian chart, now there's only 2. There's either the main meridian or the extraordinary. There's only 2, just so you can see that. So we're going to ask, again, is it left or right? So in the meridian chart, is it the left side, right side? It's in the extraordinary meridian. And I'll send you this transcript when we're done so you can keep it for yourself, honey. So now we're in the extraordinary meridian, and look at how many there are. There's a ton here, okay? So sometimes there's only 2, sometimes there's 10. So we're going to ask, in the extraordinary meridian chart, is it the left side of the chart? No, it's the right side. Okay, so is it conception meridian? No. Is it governing meridian? No. Is it penetrating meridian? No. Is it girdle meridian? Yeah. All right, so let's move on. Girdle meridian. Now we're getting all the writing. I'm going to flip it a little bit. There's a lot of information there. So it's just, I'm going to just cut to the chase on this so that we can release or find what's going on in your system. And with everything we find, there's these three things at the bottom: decoding, association, and intention to release. So that's how we find what we're looking for. So we've already decoded that the governing of the girdle meridian is misaligned. So we're going to ask, is there any trapped emotion associated with the girdle meridian being misaligned? We're getting a yes. There's a lock. Okay. There's where your misalignment is. What's triggering the girdle meridian? Trapped emotion. So let's find it. It's associated. So let's find what those are. Again, this is how we use, I want to make sure it's left and right. I'm going to ask, is the meridian in his system, is it imbalanced or misaligned on the left side of his body? No, it's on the right side, just so we know where we're working. So it's the right side of his body. The meridian is blocked. So we've got trapped emotion that we're going to be looking for now. So I'll use this and I'll show you with this, just so you can kind of have an idea of where I'm going. So we're going to be using the emotion code chart now to find the trapped emotion that's associated with the girdle meridian that's misaligned, that's triggering you to have all this stress. You see how it goes in layers into your body? Deep. That's what the body code is all about. It goes much deeper into your system. That's why I say we're going to go to the root of what's going on, the underlying cause. So trapped emotion. There's two columns. We're going to ask, is it in column A or is it in column B? And go from there. So the trapped emotion, is it in column A? Is it in column B? Okay, we're going to mark that down. Okay, so there are 6 columns, 6 rows rather, I'm sorry. 1, 3, 5, that's your odd rows. 2, 4, 6, that's your even rows. So for time, that's what we say. Is it an even row or is it an odd row? And I just lost you. Hang on. Bring you back. Is it in an even row? Nope. Is it an odd row? Yes. So that's, is it 1? Is it 3? It's in row 3. Row 3 is lungs and colon. I'm going to try to do this gracefully for you. Okay, row 3, lungs and colon. And we're in column B. So it's going to be way over here. So these are the 5. There's one of these that's stuck in your system that's triggering the stress to come out, that's triggering the rash. And these are the organs generating it. Okay? I know it's a lot to take in. B3, lungs and colon. We'll find out at the end which one of these 2 is generating it. So B3, we're going to ask, of those 5, is it confusion? Is it defensiveness? Is it grief? Is it self-abuse? Self-abuse is so common. It's not just a physical thing either, like cutting, hurting yourself. It can be just simply taking a back seat all the time and putting everybody else first. That's self-abuse. Or if we do something dumb, and we all do this, dum-dums, drop something in the kitchen, you break a glass, and you're like, oh, I can't believe I did that. What a jerk. Why did I do that? Again, that's self-abuse. That's the way we talk to ourselves. So self-abuse, I'm going to ask the question, is there anything that we need more to know about self-abuse in him? No. Can we release it? Yes. This is how we release it now. Your subconscious found what's going on in your system and what needs to be released, which one, that's the one that's triggering all this. So now with intention, this is the other half of it. We're going to set the intention to lovingly realign and release self-abuse from your system. I'm going to use my fingertips. 1, 2, 3, 4. As long as you're in the field of energy of the governing meridian or with the magnet, you don't have to touch the skin. 1, 2, 3, 4. You just go down to the bottom of the base of the neck. Have we successfully released self-abuse?
So you know what's crazy? And remember, so the whole time,
Now, let me just ask which of these two organs generated it for us.
Colon.
Remember, it was lungs and colon. Let me just ask.
Yeah.
So which of the two organs generated self-abuse? Was it lungs? Yes.
lungs, okay. But so what I was feeling was the whole time I'm sitting there, my hands are covering my colon. And that's, for me, when I see clients do that, when they lie on the table, I know they're hiding something. Or it's like, look here, you know,
Yeah.
frequently.
That's right. That's a symbolism. That's right.
And I felt it, like I said, I felt it in the solar plexus. It could be colon, maybe it's lung and colon, but I've had lung problems and I've had colon problems. So,
right.
and all those other, like crying, column A, I had nothing at all. Column B, confusion, never. Grief, no. And as soon as you pointed to self-abuse, I'm like, aha. Yeah. And as soon as you did the 1, 2, 3, 4, that tension in the colon just yeah. Like, what? Like,
what the heck is happening? That's how this work is. It's just
wow.
So wonderful. I'm just so loving this work. I've helped so many people with this. It's crazy. So that's just one. I'm not going to do any more, but I'm going to ask. Since we released that, does he have any other trapped emotion associated with the girdle meridian being misaligned? Yes. So there's more trapped in there. I worked on a gentleman, it's a regular client of mine, and he hadn't been to me in a couple of months, just to give you an example. And he was really stressed out at work. There was so much going on. And I said, what are you doing? You know you can't go that long because of what's going on right now. What's up with you? I know, I just keep forgetting. Time slips by me and I just forget. And I said, that's everybody. We just get into our routine and then we forget about ourselves. The energetic work has to be done, whether it's Melchizedek, tuning forks, emotion code, body code. We're all in it to help each other. And we have to do the energetic work. I ended up working on him consequently. Like I just found with you, stress was related to something he was doing at work. Something else was thrown off in his body, a tendon. Like we just found in you, the girdle meridian. In him, it was a tendon. 97 trapped emotions were stuck there. One session.
Wow.
Ouch. So you can have one, you can have two, you can have many. That's just one area of his body that was off. I worked a whole session, an hour on him. He had other areas that were misaligned aside from the one tendon. So that's why I'm saying this work goes very deep into the body and helps the body heal itself. It's an assist. And we work with the subconscious to do that. It doesn't come from me. I don't know these people from Adam. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just following the director where it tells us to go. That's stuck and release it.
That's amazing. So how can we contact you after the session's over with if we had questions? Yeah,
if you want to get in touch with me, go to my website, energyworkstudio.com. And my suggestion is this. My email is in there as well, energy4522@gmail.com. I'm always available to help people. Go to and click on emotion code video. It's about a 20-minute length educational video that I put together. It's a little bit about my history of myself, the 25 years I've been in business in the holistic field, the book I wrote a year ago, the emotion code, the change in perception that came out a year ago. It's on the bestseller list in Amazon. It's also going to be in the LA Times Book Festival next month in April. It's the largest event in the United States. A publisher out of LA contacted me and said, we want your book in. Please get us some information. We want your book in. So they're very excited about me being there. But not only is it books, but there's movie producers there, directors there, publishers there. So I'm very happy and pleased that that's going to be there. I am clairaudient. You can go to my website while you're in there looking at the educational video of the Emotion Code Body Code. Click on my book. there's a link that will appear that will allow you to go in and read an excerpt for yourselves.
Mhm.
And then if you like what you read or you're intrigued, you can order the book from the same location. But yes,
Excellent.
go definitely look at the video that I put together. It's an educational video, emotion code video. It's about 20 minutes long. You'll enjoy it. There's a discussion as well as a demonstration of the emotion code. And then if you're interested in that, contact me, energy4522@gmail.com. And with my gift today, I'm giving everybody that is interested free a full body evaluation. And what is involved in that is I'm going to check the percentage of your immune system functionality at this moment in time. And it needs to be 100%. So if it's not, I'm going to find out what the percentage is. I'm going to test the brain percent of messages reaching organs and glands. Again, we want that to be 100%. If it's not, I'm going to find out what the percent is. Same thing with the heart messages, find out what the percent is. I'm going to also test 23 organs in your body for any imbalances or organs that are unhappy. And they're going to give us signs. I'm going to test to see of the 23, which ones are imbalanced, if any. I'm going to also test for any pathogen energies you may have in your body. There's 5 that we test. I can test for your pH balance. The middle of the road is 7.0. That's neutral. If you want it to be an alkaline, you want it to be above, at least 7.5 and above. 7.45 is only neutral. Lastly, we check for chakra imbalances. That's what I do with this work. And I am swamped. My day begins at 3 a.m.
Wow.
Because I do remote work. A lot of people don't need and don't care. They don't want to be on the phone. They don't want to be on Zoom. Start at 3 a.m. Hello.
Wow. So yeah, thank you so much for the session, and I'm glad you got to some of the root there, and I'm interested in doing more work with that. And
I'll be happy to work with you, honey. Anytime you want a session, I know we've talked about this before. I would be happy to do a full body evaluation on you for free, and then a session on you. See what you think, because you felt something today. You felt an impact already, which is one release.
awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being a part of this masterclass series.
Yeah.
And I would like to also thank the audience for being present, for being a part of this as well. And until next time, be well.
Thank you for being so wonderful, Peter. Thank you again for inviting me.
Take care.